Hey there, welcome back to my second YouTube channel, and also this is technically my second video here on this channel. You may know me from Instagram, probably from my tarot Instagram account, maybe from my TikTok or from my other YouTube channel. But this is my second account. I made this account for spirituality, philosophy, well-being, and things like that. So this is what we're gonna be sharing here. I want to share in this video something about balance. I want to talk about balance and moderation because I think this is like an important topic to share with you. But first, let me give you a background of me. Maybe this is the first time you watch me, or maybe you've watched me before doing tarot readings and sharing tarot. So, you know, by the time I'm recording this video now I'm 28. I'm a Sagittarius. Born in 1997, 12th, no, 20th of December. 20th of December, yeah, that's my birthday. I'm also Virgo moon, Libra rising or ascendant. Anyways, moving from my astrological and birth information, the way I was going about my life, when I graduated from high school, I went to college to study computer engineer. That was like probably back in 2014 or 2015. But then I dropped out of college 2 years later. Yeah. And I remember I started like reading this book. My friend gave it to me. It's called it's called The Secret, which talks about the law of attraction. And since then, I started to, dig deep into energy, frequency, spirituality, law of attraction, things like that. Yeah, I started this journey like way, like, it's been long, it's been a minute since we started this journey. And I've had like way too many experiences, like deep, intense spiritual experiences throughout my life. I've had like so many experiences, I'm telling you. I'm not gonna share all the experiences I've had because this video is gonna be too long. But I'm just gonna share here like the most two intense experiences I had on my spiritual journey. First one was back in 2020 during COVID, and especially during the period of lockdown. 2 months after the COVID started to spread, I had like wow, I had like a big spiritual awakening, baby. Like oh my gosh, it was like so intense. It was like an intense spiritual awakening I've had. I've had like something we call like in the spiritual community Kundalini rising or the serpent rising, where I experienced like a very intense Kundalini awakening back in 2020. And I've had this chakra, this energy center that's located like in the pineal gland in the middle of the forehead, uh, Agna chakra, the third eye chakra. I've had this like center awakened, activated. It was a big experience to me. It was like a rebirth experience, death rebirth. It was like very intense, and that was like a major experience I've had that really um, caused my Kundalini to awake. And I also had another major experience back in 2014, where that second experience I've had like a couple of years ago. It was even more intense than the experience I've had in 2020 in 2020, because the second experience was like unexplainable. Like, you cannot put it into words. You cannot put that experience into words, because it wasn't like really an experience. It was like like at that point, like I experienced the highest peak of life, like what you can call as like enlightenment, God. It was a big experience. And if I want to put that experience into words, the only thing I can say is that um yeah, I remember like just meditating, and I was like chanting a mantra, Shambho. And yeah, it was like it was like I experienced myself almost like as the universe. I know this may sound like a dululu for somebody, but I mean, like, I really experienced myself as everything, like everything. Brahman. Yeah, like that's what they call in Indian culture or Indian tradition, Brahman. Like, to experience yourself as the ultimate. I experienced myself as that. This is why, like, I say it here on this video that, like, this is actually an enlightened being. This is a realized being. This is an enlightened being. And I may look young now when it comes to my physical body. I may look young because I'm just 28. But, like, the spirit inside is like such an old spirit. It's such an old spirit. So, these two experiences were like the most intense experiences I've had. I've also had like other experiences where I would just casually experience like an out of body, and it's like I would be like just asleep, and like out of nowhere, like in the middle of the night, I'll be just like going out of my body and like going into other realms. And it's like I've also like experienced other things where I don't even like need to go to sleep. I can just like be where I'm at now, and I can like you know like get myself into other dimensions. That was basically the background that I wanted to share with you, because yeah, I'm gonna be talking like lots of spirituality here, baby, on this channel. Lots of it. So if you're not into that, you like this may not resonate with you. But I told you, like, I want to share um, some of the wisdom and the things I've learned, the lessons I've learned. I'm gonna try to make like a video a day, probably, if I can, if I have the time to. But yeah, like, that's been my journey. Very, very intense. Now, going back to the point of this video and what I wanted to share, I wanted to talk about balance, moderation, and I feel like this is something like could be very, very significant, because that sense of balance or moderation, to me, that was like a greater achievement than enlightenment itself, you know? Because I thought enlightenment is like the biggest achievement. Yes, it's big to be enlightened, but the biggest than being enlightened is just being like balanced in life. And there's this card in tarot. I have my tarot decks in here. There's this card called Temperance. I know most of you know this card. This Temperance card basically speaks about the concept of moderation, like being integrated, where it's not about like being leaning to any extreme. It's not about being 100% spiritual. It's not about being 100% material. It's about integrating. It's about like knowing how to balance your life on all areas. On all areas. Because to me, I always struggled as an enlightened being, as someone like who has gone so deep into spirituality to stay in the physical realm, in this physical body. But I've learned how to balance. I've learned how to balance my life, how to balance the material aspect and the spiritual aspect. So I live my life. Like I live my life as any human being. I do anything. I can do anything I want. I can do anything I want as an enlightened being. I can have sex. I can eat delicious food. I can play video games. I can watch movies. I can hang out. I can have a business. I can make money. I can do anything I want as long as I'm able to maintain this balance. So that's something I want to share with you in this video. And this balance is not just about spiritual and material. It's also about like all areas, when it comes to all areas. Because like when the universe blesses you with something, say like money or a relationship, you may be too desperate to go into that. And then you lose yourself. You may not have lots of money, and once the universe decides to bless you with money, then you go all like materials and money. And it's like maybe you want a relationship. Once this lover or this person comes into your life, and it's like you're so hungry for love and intimacy and connection, you go desperately, all desperately, you go into love, and then you start like other aspects or other areas of your life will start to go down. Like you will start to experience imbalance. Like that imbalance is something like you need to take care of within yourself. Like that's literally the best way to live on this planet Earth. I'm telling you. Please take the wisdom. The best way to live on this planet Earth is by knowing how to keep yourself balanced, okay? Keep yourself balanced on all areas, financially, emotionally, materially, spiritually. The more balanced you are, the more you can experience life on all levels, the more you can fulfill your own life on all levels, inside, outside. So never, the wisdom that you can take from this card, Temperance, is never lean to an extreme. Never lean to an extreme. Like never be too much materialistic. Never be too much spiritual. At some point you'll have to get back to this balance point, So this is how you can live. This is how you can actually live happily and at peace. That's what I wanted to share with you. So thank you for watching. By the way, I'm wearing this color today. This is orange color, and this is basically the color all the sannyasis and people who are on the spiritual path wear this color. And I love this color, by the way. orange. It's really good. I may be wearing this color now more often when I make videos on this channel. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video.